Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, to Him belong the everlastingness and the befitting attributes. I humbly ask Allah to raise the rank of Prophet Muhammad and his kind family and companions. Thereafter, after the Prophet took the night journey from Masjid al-Haram in Mecca to Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, he ascended to the upper heavens on extraordinary stairs called al-Mirqat, in which one step is made of gold and the next of silver, and so on. When the Prophet and Jibreel arrived at the first heaven, Jibreel requested the gate to be opened. The angel assigned to that gate asked Jibreel, "Who's with you?" Jibreel answered, "It's Muhammad." The angel asked Jibreel, "Is it time for him to ascend to the heaven?" Jibreel said, "Yes." So the gate was opened for him, and Prophet Muhammad entered the first heaven and saw Prophet Adam therein. Then he ascended to the second heaven, where he saw the two cousins, Prophet Isa, Jesus, and Yahya. Then he ascended to the third heaven, where he saw the handsome Prophet Yusuf. Then he saw Prophet Harun in the fifth, and Prophet Moses in the sixth, and Prophet Ibrahim in the seventh. All these prophets received Prophet Muhammad with a warm welcome and made supplication, dua for him for good things. In the seventh heaven, the Prophet saw Al-Baytul Ma'mur. To the inhabitants of the skies, Al-Baytul Ma'mur is like the Kaaba is to the inhabitants of the earth. Every day, 70,000 angels go in, they pray, then exit from it and never return. The next day, another 70,000 angels go in, pray, come out, and never return. This will continue until the day of judgment. In this, there's an indication as to the greatness of the numbers of the angels. Their numbers are far more than the numbers of the humans and the jinns together. In the seventh heaven, Prophet Muhammad saw Sidratul Muntaha. That is a very big tree of Sidr. Its beauty is beyond description. Then the Prophet ascended to what is beyond the seven skies. He entered paradise. He saw examples of the inhabitants of paradise and how their situation would be. He saw most of the inhabitants of paradise are from the poor people. The Prophet saw other things on the night of his ascension. He saw Malik, the angel in charge of the hellfire. Malik did not smile at the Prophet when he saw him, and the Prophet asked why. In answer to the Prophet's question, Jibreel said Malik did not smile since the day Allah created him. Had he smiled for anyone, he would have smiled for you. In paradise, the Prophet saw some of the bounties Allah prepared for the inhabitants of paradise. He saw the Hurul Ain, the females Allah created who are not humans or jinn or angels. They are in paradise and will be married to those men Allah willed for them to marry. The Prophet saw also the Wildan al-Mukhalladun, creations of Allah who are not human, jinn or angels. They are a very beautiful creation of Allah whose appearance is like laid out pearls. They are servants of the inhabitants of paradise. The least in status of the people of paradise will have 10,000 of the Wildan al-Mukhalladun to serve him. Each one of them would carry a tray of gold in one hand and a tray of silver in the other hand. The Prophet saw also the throne, the grand Arsh, which is the ceiling of paradise. The throne is the largest creation of Allah in size. Allah did not create anything bigger in size. The seven heavens and the earth in comparison to the throne are like a seed of mustard compared to the ocean. Allah created the throne as a sign of His power, and He did not create the throne to sit on it. Allah created the throne to show His power. It is carried now by 4 angels, and on the day of judgment it will be carried by 8 angels. The Prophet said he was permitted to speak about one of these angels who carry the throne. In describing this angel, the Prophet told us the distance between his earlobe and shoulder is the distance a fast flying bird would cover in 700 years. Some people believe that God sits on the throne or inhabits the sky. This is wrong. Why? Because the one who sits on something needs it. Godhood contradicts neediness, so Allah does not need anything. The one who needs something is imperfect, and the imperfect is weak, and the weak does not deserve to be worshipped. So Allah does not need anything. He does not need the place, the sky, the throne, or anything among His creations. This is why the Muslim believes that Allah exists before and after creating the place without a place. Keep in mind and stick to this belief. Allah does not need anything. Allah exists without a place. Allah does not resemble anything. Allah does not inhabit the sky nor sits on the throne. This is the belief that will save you after death in your tomb and in the day of judgment. After all these matters took place with the Prophet, he returned to the city of Mecca. Some scholars said that his journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, then to the heavens and what is above them, and then back to Mecca, took about 1/3 of the night. The next day, the Prophet told the people what happened to him the previous night. The blasphemers belied the Prophet and mocked him, saying, "We need a month to get there and back, and you are claiming to have done all this in one night?" They said to Abu Bakr, "Look at what your companion is saying. He's saying he went to Jerusalem and came back in one night." Abu Bakr told them, "If he said that, then he's truthful." At that, the companion Abu Bakr was called As-Siddiq because of how strongly he believed all what the Prophet Muhammad said. The blasphemous people questioned the Prophet, "If you are truthful, then describe to us Masjid al-Aqsa and its surroundings." They asked this because they knew Prophet Muhammad had never been there before the previous night. Allah enabled the messenger to see Masjid al-Aqsa, and he described the masjid and its surroundings in exact detail. Moreover, the Prophet said, "On my way back, I saw some of your shepherds grazing their animals in a particular location. They were searching for a camel they had lost." The Prophet continued by giving the description of the camel. When these shepherds came back, they told their people what happened to them, precisely as the Prophet had already told them. These blasphemers admitted the Prophet's description was exact. Despite that, they were still stubborn and rejected the faith. They did not accept Islam. Only those whom Allah willed to be guided will be guided. The person whom Allah did not will to be guided will not believe, regardless of how much explanation or how many proofs he is shown. The person whom Allah willed to be guided, surely he will be a believer. Many people witnessed miracles and still did not believe. Many people, for example, witnessed the miracle of the Prophet's splitting of the moon. Yet those who refused to embrace Islam said, "This is magic. Muhammad played a magic trick on our eyes." They even asked the people of faraway lands who witnessed the moon split into two. Despite this, they still did not believe. They said the magic of Muhammad is powerful. It even reached the faraway lands. This is what their response to witnessing a miracle instead of believing and becoming Muslims. In the end, I ask Allah that we would all die as Muslims, and I ask Allah to bestow on us the bounty of entering paradise without torture. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, كل عام وأنتم بخير. I ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala what is best for you in your life and in the hereafter. May Allah raise the rank of Prophet Muhammad, and Allah knows best.